You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, you guys know that Black and White Sports relationship with the media is, a little unstable at best. They hate us. Sorry, Mr. Matrix. They hate you too. Just letting you know, man. But we very proudly wear that honor since 2020. They absolutely hate our guts because, well, they don't know what's going to come out of our mouths. And so I certainly have no love for the media. Not to steal a line from Ben Daniel, but I'm going to call a spade here. Got to be more careful. What is going on with the Indiana Fever? The house is on fire. They are running damage control at an epic level, and now they are pulling media access from people that have directly covered the team on the beat. I'm going to be real. Scott Agness or not, I don't like that shit. I don't. I think it's horseshit. Remember, Scott Agness is the guy that came out last year and said, oh, there's an ankle injury. And all the other Fever reporters ran out there, nothing to see here. Please move along. These aren't the ankle injuries you're looking for. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. We found out, in fact, Caitlin Clark was hurt with a second injury that they didn't bother to disclose as they were on their day-to-day tirade throughout the season, just fishing and stringing fans along that were spending money thinking Caitlin Clark was coming back any day now. Day-to-day turned into no day. He's also come out about Leah Boston's leg injury. Well, I guess his quest for the truth has ended poorly. Again, I don't like this. This is some communist bullshit. Is this China? We got state-run media? Is Xi Jinping involved with the front office for the Indiana Fever? Is that what we've got going on here? Scott Agness, an update for subscribers and Fever fans. After the Indiana Fever revoked my credential access, I want readers to understand what happened and why I stand by my reporting and what's going on in the future. So, down here, Indiana Fever Public Relations informed me via email that my credentialed access to all team events has been revoked. They said it was due to, quote, the spread of inaccurate and unsubstantiated information. And they cited my Caitlin Clark tweet being ruled out 100 minutes before they defeated the Portland Fire on May 20th. Fever PR briefly spoke with me before the game to ask about the tweet and state they believed it was false. However, there was no meeting or further conversation before the decision to revoke my credential access was communicated to me. In my response, I told the organization that I stand by my reporting and the intent behind it. Because many of you subscribe to the Phil House Files specifically for Fever coverage, I believe it's important to be transparent about what happened. Look, I got to give him credit for that. The reporting in question was not behind a paywall. It was available to anyone that wanted to read it. It was based on information from a trusted leak source. The story provided additional details was updated before tip-off to include Stephanie White's pregame comments. Here's a portion of that story. Clark was visible at practice Tuesday, but White said Clark did not participate. Quote, she got treatment yesterday and went through workouts after practice. I reported earlier that there is no new injury or concern. White confirmed that. Quote, she's healthy, White added. We're not managing anything. This is just a back issue that we want to make sure that we give the time to be ready. I also wrote that this was, quote, part of a strategic management plan for Clark, who missed all but 13 games last season due to injuries. That was not to insinuate load management, but rather emphasize precautionary measure given what she experienced last season. Okay, I'm going to keep it real here. I don't take that any other way but load management. In how I interpret it, I'm going to be real. And I called it load management when we talked about it. So I don't know how else you interpret part of strategic management plans. That sounds like load management to me. But do I believe that interpretation of that by the reader should lead Scott Agness to have his credentials revoked? No, I don't. This is Indiana's 4th game in 8 days, with another one coming Friday against the Valkyries. Blah, blah, blah. Clark is playing. There's a lot of stress on one's body when ramping up for a full workout, and she hadn't played significant minutes since last July. This is how beat reporting works. A report the news, gather additional context, speak with sources, and update the readers as new information becomes available. Given the intense attention surrounding the Fever and Clark, who went from not appearing on the injury report to being ruled out, I believe it was important to provide context rather than speculation and misinformation to fill the void. Okay, I mean, I got to give him credit for that. I don't think it's necessarily started as a certain point. I think it's been just over the course of the last year when I've been understanding my body more. I think it's just finding the balance of when I maybe don't need to be aware and when I need to be a little too over-aware. So I'm still working through that, but I don't think it's anything of concern. The Fever took issue with the phrase strategic management plan. That's their right. However, it is consistent with what the team had been publicly emphasizing since last season, keeping the big picture in mind and taking a cautious approach. The next day, the Fever received a warning from the WNBA. We talked about that. This reflects what reporting attempted to explain from the beginning a team and a player balancing a short-term availability with long-term health. People can disagree with the wording or interpretation. That's part of the relationship between the teams and media. What should not be in dispute is that reporting was sourced, that it was updated as new information became available, that readers were given the full context available at the time. And he goes on to talk about a relationship that he's got with the Pacers. Or had with the Pacers. I don't know. But my issue is, are you going to cut off everybody's access to the team because you don't like how things are interpreted? Are you because it's pretty clear the coach and the front office can't handle scrutiny, you're going to start condensing the people that they, and you cannot insulate the most popular team in the league. You cannot do it. Because guess what? We're going to start burning you down for that too. Every day if we got to. We're going to start calling you out for wanting to hide. And look, everybody thinks you're shady anyway after last year. I'm talking about the team here. Amber Xi Jinping Cox put the order out, the CEO, the COO and the GM. Limit his access. Okay, Lord Vader. I mean, what are we doing? No, that's fishy as hell. I don't love it. Yeah, I mean, I'm the first to tell you, strategic management plan makes me think load management immediately, and that's what I said in my videos. But, you know, readers are going to interpret what they're going to interpret. Do I think that a sports organization should censor coverage from someone because they don't like their wording? I wouldn't exactly call the guy the National Enquirer. You guys know, I have been honest, I can't stand the media. I loathe it. But this is also unprofessional from the Indiana Fever. Make no mistake about it. And I think it's bullshit. It's Bush League. This league and these teams want to do anything they can to keep from ever becoming a mainstream sport. And it's working. You're holding your biggest star down, the sport's biggest star down. It's like, whoa, we got our CBA, we're good. Now let's close everything back off and put up pride post. Tell me what you think. A lot of people are probably going to be surprised that I made a video and I crushed the Fever on this, but no, I don't like it one damn bit. Xi Jinping is running the Fever. Peace, I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.